Hello everyone, it's Nathan Kurtz, your instructor. I just wanted to walk you through the MyMathLab to show you some of the tricks and tips to make MyMathLab one of the best things that you've used, at least for mathematics. So by now you should have already logged into MyMathLab. You should have created your account if you didn't already have one, registered for the course, and you're ready to go. What I'm going to do is show you how to use MyMathLab on a daily basis. So once you go back to the MyMathLab webpage and you sign in, what you're going to see on the top left is this Math 120 course for us right here. You're going to go ahead and click on that. This brings you to the home page of MyMathLab, and you can pay attention to this if you want. I never pay attention to this because I always find it easier to use the tabs over here on the left. So you're going to see some things on my screen which do not appear on yours. That's because I'm an instructor, you're not, so I'm going to see things that you don't. Yours should be a little easier over here. The first thing that I want all of you to do is go through a browser check if you're on your personal computer. You need to do this once and only once throughout the entire semester. Really easy, walks you through and makes sure you have everything you need to do to use MyMathLab. I like to use Chrome as my preferred web browser. If not, I like to use Firefox or Internet Explorer. If you're ever having a problem with MyMathLab, try logging into using a different Internet Explorer or Chrome or Firefox, etc. So after you've done this browser check, once again, once and only once, you're set to go for the entire semester. Primarily, the only button that you guys are going to be using over here on the left is the homework. You might want to go to the gradebook to see what your options are, or multimedia library if you miss a day or need extra resources. Tools for success, sometimes you might use, but very, very rarely. So the primary ones you're going to see here is homework, multimedia library, and the gradebook. The other ones you're not going to use near as much. So to show you what a homework actually looks like, you're going to click on that homework tab, and notice over on this left hand side you will always see a due date and time. Notice it's always on Monday before class begins. Unless we don't have class that Monday, then it's due Tuesday before class begins. You're going to see 2 assignments for every single section, a practice assignment and a homework assignment. The practice assignment is never due. It's not worth any points. It's only there for your help. The actual homework assignment is due, and you have limited attempts, etc. So let me show you what MyMathLab looks like. I'm going to go click ahead on your first homework assignment. Orientation, only do that if you've never used MyMathLab before. Really quick, 5-10 minutes, doesn't count towards your grade. But otherwise, I'm going to do the homework assignment here. And what you'll see is a list of the questions. You can access this as many times as you want. If you notice, you only get 3 times to attempt every single question, and it will always tell you what your current score is on the assignment. Right now I haven't gotten any problems right, so I have a 0%. You can click on any one of these questions. I typically do them in order, but certainly you don't need to, and if you get stuck you could always jump around. So let me click on a random question here. The first time it takes a little bit to load, but after that the questions will load fairly quickly. And here's what it looks like. It's a question exactly like what we did in class, except MyMathLab is only looking for the answer. It's not looking for the work. Always read whatever's underneath here, whatever's underneath the box, to determine what type of answers do they want. So they say use integers or fractions for any numbers in that expression. So in other words, they don't want decimal points, etc. They just want integers and fractions. Okay. You'll always have a link to the textbook, which does not bring you to that example. It brings you to the section which that's in. Since this is 4.4 homework, that textbook button is going to bring me to section 4.4 in the actual textbook. Every single page of the textbook is there. And so I'm just going to come in here, and anytime I need to enter any math symbols, they're all over here. I can click on more. Any of the symbols that I need are going to be right there if you don't know how to use it on your keyboard. So for instance, if I needed to say the square root of x, I would hit that square root button, and I'd hit X, and then I'd hit enter, or check your answer. And so that's clearly not right for this problem. MyMathLab instantly tells you that it's not right. That was one attempt. Let me try another attempt here. What I'll do is delete that, and I'm going to purposely put in answers that I know are wrong here. So here, let me put in 5. I'm going to check that answer. It's not right. That's my second attempt. I'll do it one more time. Let me put in the number 7. I know that's not right. Final check. If you notice on the third attempt, it automatically tells you what the correct answer is. tells you the correct answer and what you put in. And notice when you're looking at this problem, you actually see the correct answer in the box. To see what you put in, all you have to do is move your mouse over this box and it tells you what you actually put in. Sometimes MyMathLab is really picky and you had the right answer, you just didn't input it right, or MyMathLab didn't get it. So if you put your mouse over this and you see, no, I did have the right answer, go ahead and email me with your name, the assignment number, and the problem number, and I'll make sure to give you credit for that problem. So that was 3 attempts at that problem, and now look, there's a red X up here by problem number 5. That means I do not get credit. I told you get 3 attempts at every single problem, so what you're going to do now is click similar exercise. It reloads the problem, and I'm on my 2nd attempt. So it wants us to simplify this right here. All it's really wanting us to do is distribute the negative, so I'll distribute the negative 9x to the 4th. I know some of the short keys, which you'll get used to throughout the semester, and that should be minus 6x squared. Then it should be minus, and I'll put a fraction in here, 4/5 x plus 8, and check my answer now. When you get something right, it'll tell you it's right, change it. And if you notice also over here, now I already have 12.5% on that assignment because I've done it properly. Okay, so that's what you're looking at, is going through these problems. You get 3 attempts, you get 3 chances to enter the answer. Once you get it wrong 3 times, then you reload the problem and you get 3 total problems to do. Once you're done, you can jump around and do the next problem. Once you're done and you need to leave, go ahead and click save. That saves your progress. Now my score is saved and I can access this as many times as we want. So one thing that I want you to notice when we open that homework assignment is on the right hand side, the only thing you saw is textbook and print. Some of you who have taken MyMathLab courses before know that there's a lot more resources there available for you. So, looking at section 4.4, I see 8 problems on the homework assignment that you actually need to do. If I get stuck and I don't know how to do it, what am I supposed to do? And that's what the practice assignment is for. So let's say I got stuck on that problem in section 4.4. What I would do now is go to 4.4 practice. Notice instead of 8 questions, there's now 39 questions to choose from. So these are tons and tons of examples of those problems. When I click on any one of these particular problems, and I can go through them as I will, you'll see it's the exact same type thing right here. It's the same problem, but look at all these different things over here. All these different things over here are learning aids. So let's go over them one by one. What Help Me Solve This does is it takes the exact same problem, 7x plus 2 plus x plus 4, both in parentheses, and it's going to walk me through step by step, asking me to interact with the problem, and I have to input, and eventually it gets me through and gets me the right answer. So what it is it's like having a tutor by your side working you step by step through these actual problems. So that's what it is right here. Once again, Help Me Solve This works you step by step through the problems. It's the exact same problem. But notice, now I have a red X and it's changed the problem. So after I do Help Me Solve This, I have to do a different problem, different numbers, but the same type problem. If I click on View an Example, same type problem, but different numbers. This one doesn't have any input. It just walks me through step by step on how to solve the problem. So, Help Me Solve This involves you. View an Example just gives you straight up the answer for a similar problem but not the same. The things over here are all nice. Ask Me an Instructor means you can email me the problem and ask me a question about it. Connect to a tutor, you won't ever use that. Textbook once again brings you to the section of the textbook. But there's also some lecture videos and animation slideshows for random problems. What these do is takes you through
these 2 polynomials.
You can hear someone talking and it's going to show you exactly just like a tutorial online class would do. Takes you through everything. So all these different hints over here, all these different helping aids are absolutely amazing for you to use. And once again, this does not, the practice assignments do not count towards your grade. So all you have to do is when you're stuck on a homework problem, come to these practice assignments, use all these learning aids until you know how to do the problem. Once you know how to do the problem, go ahead and go back to the homework assignment and do the problem on the homework assignment until you get credit. Remember, you only get 3 attempts. So what I'd do is always start with the homework assignment. If I don't get the problem right, go back to the practice assignment, do a bunch of examples. Once I get it, understand how to do the problem, go back to the homework and actually complete it. Once you're done here, you can always go next to the assignment and it'll show you your current score and you can see how you're doing. Okay? So homeworks, that's what you're going to be using. Every single section has a homework and assignment. The due dates are already set. I'll adjust them throughout the semester as needed. Quizzes and tests we do in class. You do not need to worry about this at all. There's practice quizzes and tests, but these truly won't help you too much. You should be using the homework assignments and the lecture notes in class. Study plan is essentially the exact same as the practice assignments, so you don't really need to use that. Gradebook, you'll be able to see your overall score for the class, how you're doing, what your grades were on the different things. Tools for success, if you're having any problems using your calculator, there's nice calculator videos here. There's some nice review cards if you forget how to do basic math and different types of things. Wonderful review cards, cheat cards that you can print up to study, help you out. There's some activities and projects you can do there. But if you miss a day, this is one of the best things you could do, is click on Multimedia Library. You should know what section we're covering based on the schedule on the syllabus. And what you'll do is go into the Multimedia Library and pick the exact section that we missed. So for instance, I believe we started with section 4.4. If you missed that lecture, click Select All, Find Now, and here's all the different resources that's available for us online. So for instance, all those animation slideshows showing you step by step how to work through the different types of problems. You can see the chapter test prep video, which gets you ready for understanding what material you're going to do for the actual chapter. PowerPoint slideshows of lectures working through, showing you step by step, just like a lecture if you were in my class. The multimedia textbook, if you actually want to pull up the textbook and see what it is, you can actually pull up that textbook. And the textbook here is much, much nicer than having a traditional printed out textbook, and I'll show you why in just one moment. When you have these textbooks, you're able to do things such as highlight problems, highlight sentences, come in here and you can put in personal notes. And the nice thing about this is these notes will save for you and be there for you when you open the textbook the next time. So if there's particular problems or questions that you had that you needed to understand, you can always use the navigation over here to come to the exact section that you needed to do. So section 4.4, here it is, and maybe you could put the date that we took the notes, etc. There's also fun little bookmark things you can do. You can put links in there. You could switch to a whiteboard view so you could actually write on top of it. Tons of different things that you could do with this virtual textbook. Once again, this is included every single page, and this is where I actually get the problems that we cover in class. What we're going to do is these exact same problems, and then we're going to work all this out and make sure you understand it during class. So if you miss a class, you can come through and read the textbook and see if you get an understanding of it. So that's your virtual textbook. Multimedia library, if you miss it, grades to see your overall grades, homework assignments to do your homework. Once again, practice assignments do not count. You do not have to do the practice assignments. It's only for extra help. The homeworks are what are actually due. You get 3 attempts at every single problem, so make sure if you do enter an answer 3 times and it's not right, that you reload the problem and get credit for it. You can access this as many times as you want until the due date of the assignment to make sure you get 100%. So if you have any questions with MyMathLab, please let me know. We'll see you in class, and good luck this semester.